Meet Julian. Julian is sitting in his apartment wearing a t-shirt in the middle of January. The thermostat is set to a perfect, constant 21 degrees Celsius. Julian feels comfortable, but his body is technically dying of boredom. His immune system is asleep, his metabolism is sluggish, and his mood is sinking. Now, look at Julian's ancestor from 20,000 years ago. Let's call him Kale. Kale is waking up in a cave during the peak of the last ice age. The air is -5 degrees and the ground is frozen solid. Kale isn't shivering, he isn't miserable. He's radiating heat from within. His body is producing a super-hormone that Julian has completely forgotten how to access. Kale's immune system is a fortress, and his mind is as sharp as a flint blade. Why is Julian getting sick in a heated room while Kale thrived in a world of ice? The answer is that thermal comfort is a biological trap. We have traded our ancient resilience for a convenience that is slowly rotting our health. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you a 60-second biological hack you can do in your own shower to reactivate this lost superpower. But first, we have to understand the secret of the brown fat revolution. For most of human history, the environment was a series of thermal challenges. Our ancestors didn't have central heating, down jackets, or double-glazed windows. They lived in a world where the body had to earn its own warmth every single day. To survive this, the human body developed a specialized tissue called brown adipose tissue, or brown fat. Unlike the white fat that sits on your waist and hips, brown fat is a furnace. It is packed with mitochondria, the power plants of your cells. Its only job is to burn energy to create heat. Kale had massive deposits of brown fat around his neck, his chest, and his spine. When the cold hit his skin, his brown fat ignited, burning through calories like a jet engine. This kept him warm, but it also did something much more profound. It kept his insulin levels low, his arteries clear, and his inflammation at zero. Let's look back at Julian in his heated apartment. Julian hasn't felt a real cold shock in 5 years. Because he is always comfortable, his body has decided that brown fat is a waste of resources. Its internal furnace has been mothballed. It has turned into white, stagnant fat. Julian is living in a state of thermal monotony, and in biology, monotony is the precursor to decay. By eliminating the cold, we have silenced the very signals that tell our genes to stay strong. The super-hormone I'm talking about is called norepinephrine. In the ancient world, every time Kale stepped out into the frost, his brain flooded with this chemical. Norepinephrine is a powerful neurotransmitter that regulates focus, mood, and inflammation. It is the reason you feel incredibly alive after jumping into a cold lake. It isn't just a rush of adrenaline. It is a total system reboot. It repairs damaged cells. It flushes out brain toxins. It acts as a natural antidepressant. Julian, on the other hand, is chronically deficient in this hormone. He tries to get his rush from caffeine and sugar, but those are just cheap imitations. His brain is foggy and his mood is low because he has removed the primary stimulus for mental clarity: the cold. We have built a world where we are room temperature from birth to death. And this thermal comfort is the hidden driver behind the obesity and diabetes epidemic. When you are cold, your metabolism can increase by 300% in seconds. Your body is forced to scavenge for energy, burning through glucose and fatty acids. In Julian's world, his body never has to work for heat. So every calorie he eats has nowhere to go but into storage. We aren't overeating as much as we are underheating. Our ancestors could eat massive amounts of food because their internal furnace was always on. We are trying to manage our weight with diets while ignoring the biological thermostat that controls everything. But the damage goes even deeper than your waistline. Let's talk about the mitochondrial war. Your mitochondria are the engines of your life. When they get old and weak, you get old and weak. Cold exposure triggers a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. It literally forces your cells to grow new, stronger engines to survive the threat of the cold. Our cells were brand new every season. His biology was constantly being forged in the ice. Julian's mitochondria are like old, rusty car engines that have never been pushed past 20 miles per hour. They are leaking exhaust in the form of free radicals, which damage his DNA and accelerate aging. By avoiding the cold, Julian is literally choosing to age faster. He is choosing a weaker version of himself because the comfort feels so good in the moment. This is the golden cage of modern civilization. We have optimized our environment for pleasure, but our genes are coded for challenge. When we remove the challenge, the system starts to glitch. Chronic inflammation, the silent killer behind heart disease and Alzheimer's, thrives in a warm, sedentary body. Cold exposure is the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory ever discovered. It shuts down the pro-inflammatory pathways that are currently overactive in Julian's brain. This is why cold plunges and ice baths have become a cult among elite athletes and high-performers. They aren't just toughing it out, they are reclaiming an ancient biological right. They are reminding their bodies how to be human. But you don't need an ice bath in the middle of a forest to fix this. You just need to stop being afraid of the shiver. The shiver is the sound of your metabolism waking up. The shiver is the feeling of your brown fat coming back online. We have been taught that shivering is a sign of weakness or illness. In reality, it is a sign of a high-performance machine doing exactly what it was designed to do. We have become a self-domestication species. Like wolves that turned into pugs, we have traded our wild, resilient nature for a soft, pampered existence. But the wolf is still inside your DNA. It is just waiting for the temperature to drop. Think about the depression and anxiety rates in modern cities. We are physically comfortable, but we are mentally miserable. Could it be that our brains are crying out for the chemical reset that only the cold can provide? When Kale faced the winter, he didn't have time for existential dread. His body was too busy surviving. His focus was too sharp. His reward system was too balanced. By removing the physical struggle, we have left our minds to eat themselves alive. We have too much mental energy because we aren't spending any survival energy. So how do we bring the Ice Age back into the 21st century? You don't have to move to a cave. You just have to break the thermal monotony. The biological hack I promised you is simple, but it requires courage. It's called the contrast finish. At the end of your warm, comfortable shower, turn the handle all the way to the cold side. Start with 30 seconds. Let the water hit your upper back and the base of your neck. This is where your dormant brown fat is waiting. The initial shock will make you want to scream. Your heart will race, your breath will catch. This is your ancestral alarm going off. But after 20 seconds, something miraculous happens. Your body accepts the challenge. Your norepinephrine levels spike by up to 500%. Your blood vessels constrict and then dilate, flushing your system with fresh, oxygenated blood. When you step out of that shower, you aren't just clean. You are recalibrated. You will feel a warmth radiating from your chest that no heater can replicate. That is your brown fat waking up from a 20-year nap. If you do this every day, your body will start to rebuild its internal furnace. Within weeks, you will find that you don't need that extra sweater. You will find that your brain fog starts to lift. You will find that the winter blues don't touch you anymore. You are transforming from a Julian back into a Kale. The modern world wants you soft. It wants you dependent on the thermostat and the pharmacy. But your ancestors left you a gift hidden in your fat cells and your hormones. They left you the power to be indestructible in the face of the elements. Don't let that gift go to waste in a heated room. Turn off the heater, open the window, take the cold shower, reclaim the super-hormone that built the human race. The cold isn't your enemy, it is your creator. And it's time you went back to the source. Watch the next video to see how to combine this cold shock with ancient breathing techniques to double your results. The ice is calling. Are you brave enough to answer? I'll see you in the cold. Goodbye for now.